Can I? Please, can I? Here we go.
Oh god. Holding on to something. Yes, man! What?
He's gonna be like, why is this sleep coming? Whoa! Oh, Jesus!
We were capsizing there.
Hey, you beautiful buccaneers, Falcore here. So with everything going on in the Sea of Thieves at the moment, it's easy to get yourself totally lost in direction with the story. But there are some things that have gone unnoticed. In my last speculation video, I put forth the idea that the Servant of Flame is in fact Flameheart Jr. I came to this conclusion pretty much around the time of the Ships of Fortune update, as everything was pointing towards this, but out of respect to the developers, I led you all down a different path. That said though, this is still all speculation at this point until we actually get word from the developers. The clues were pretty obvious if you've read the Tales from the Sea of Thieves book. Flameheart Jr. was turned into a skeleton by drinking from a mysterious chalice, and Wanda had been searching for a chalice, and even used the chalice symbol as the Reaper's Bones sigil. On top of that, the stone tablets around the center of Reaper's hideout reads Chalice in skeletal script, and Pirates for All Eternity, which was an entry made in Flameheart Jr.'s journal. Couple this with the fact that the highest tier figurehead for the Reaper's Bones is the Servant of Flame, revealing himself as a skeleton holding a chalice, and the fact that the hideout itself is constructed from a battle-worn ship, possibly the Silver Blade, and you've got yourself a Scooby-Doo clue. I have noticed a few people mention that the ship here is the Killer Whale, Merrick's old ship. And although the mast of this ship was used in the hideout's initial construction, the killer whale is still very present, lying beneath the island. The Servant of Flame also loves to flex with his large sword, and this also points to another clue, as his father made sure that Junior was well studied in sword combat. Maybe he should have taught him about sailing first. But here's the thing, if this is indeed Flameheart Jr., then why does he graciously accept the loot gained from his father's defeat? Surely his dad would be somewhat confused that not only his son accepts the loot from his fallen vessels, but also his son sends vessels from his faction to defeat his father. Although Reaper's Bones are a somewhat evil faction, they're certainly not hell-bent on world domination like Flameheart Sr. Flameheart Sr. just wants to watch the world burn. Pirates and skeletons alike. He seeks nothing more than the conquest of the Sea of Thieves. And what use would that be to the Reaper's Bones? You cannot be a pirate if there's no sailors to pirate from. Furthermore, why would Flameheart Sr. need a pirate faction when he can merely pluck vessels from the Sea of the Damned to do his bidding? I mean, sure, vessels that get spanked on a daily basis to get those shiny new sails, but you see my point. Although Flameheart Jr. was cursed and became a skeleton, his thirst for being a pirate manifested differently to his father. His father has always been on the axis of evil, even before manifesting to what he has become, whereas his son's driving force was always about the fantastical stories told to him as a child. Junior's driving force has always been exploration, discovery, and pirating. He looked up to his father because his father only told him the grand stories of his adventures, and never about his darkness that lay within. So if Junior wasn't in fact to learn of his father's true intentions, he would not really be very pleased about it. The Servant of Flame merely popped up out of nowhere from our perspective, but it's becoming evident he's been here for quite some time, behind the scenes and learning of what's going on in the world. If he is in fact Flameheart Jr., the last we heard of him was talking with a skeleton lord only known as the Captain. Now, if the Captain was in fact an entirely different entity and wasn't actually Junior's dad like I speculated, that would mean that the Captain had a hatred for Flameheart Sr. because it was Sr. that marooned him on the island where Flameheart Jr. found him. So if this is the case, he would have taught Junior everything he knew about his father and molded him to fight against him. So that would mean if the Servant of Flame is Flameheart Jr., his agenda is to fight against his father, and it's entirely likely his father does not even know it is him. By the way, devs, please, in the future, name your protagonist something different. All this Captain, Junior, Senior, 2 Flameheart stuff is giving even me a headache. However, Let's just theorize that I was right, and the captain was in fact Flameheart Sr. all along. That would mean that if the Servant of Flame is Flameheart Jr., his dad would have had to manipulate his son to his way of thinking. How would he do that? In the Heart of Fire, Flameheart Sr. is starting a ritual. Stitcher Jim thinks it's to summon an Ashen Lord. His meddling ruined this ritual, and instead he cursed himself. Whilst we see this happening, we see Wanda, aka the Masked Stranger, watching what is occurring, and then walks away. And that is the last we ever saw of her. The Masked Stranger also meddled with curses and life to create these abominations. More importantly, she found a way to splice a parrot and a monkey together, which means she was experimenting with splicing life and souls. Could it be possible that when Flameheart Sr. promised that Wanda could become his queen, he meant it in a literal sense? What better way would there be to keep an unruly son in check by having one of his own minions share his body? Maybe this was the true ritual. That would certainly explain why the Servant of Flame has both a male and female voice.
Answer our call. Reject the code.
And why Wanda is nowhere to be seen. But Rare, please don't make them have a baby. I don't want another Flameheart making things even more confusing.